Broken hearts embrace they came, a band of heroes bold. Stand the hunter versus fair, with tales of glory told. Osric with his mighty blade, rustbite of demonic hue, and silver half-elf merchant king. Their journey did ensue. Silver trades and secrets hold a smile upon her face, while Osric swings his fearsome sword in battle's fierce embrace. Through Raven's land they wander in search of ancient stones, to free the land from darkness where evil's a terror roams. With courage as their banner and hearts forever true, they seek the light within the night, their quest for me and you. Stern the hunter tracks the beast with arrows swift and sure. Vasilla sings of battles past, her voice a magic cure. In ancient halls where echoes dwell, they found a mystic sign. The stones of elves, a guiding light, within their hearts align.
Ooh, new fancy intro with a fancy theme song.
We have a theme song. We have a theme song.
Normally it's a Thursday night, but tonight it's a Monday night. And as you look over your 5 screens, I've got my same 4 players, but somebody looks a little different. So congratulations, Dave, on a great wedding this past
Thank
weekend.
you. Yay. Someone was fool enough to marry me.
Yeah, Jim and I got a chance to eat food and drink on your tab. It was phenomenal.
Nice.
Oh yeah. That's what's up.
All right. So it's about 6 o'clock at night. The sun is really on the edge. Thinking about dipping out here in probably a couple hours, maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours. We've got that light drizzle as Silva and Vasilla are working their way through the ruins of this, who knows how long ago, ancient dwarven installation city or whatever it was. And they've been gone for a little bit. So I want to check in with Sten and Osric. Now, Sten, you recently had a successful hunting trip, no?
I did with my brand new, if slightly downsized bow. After some mishaps last time around. Yeah, so I came back, found out that the 2 ladies have gone off on their own, which I have opinions about, but nothing I can do about it now. So yeah, he's probably gonna just kind of sit at the fire, picking at the remnants of dinner, and probably just look over to Osric and be like, "So, what are we doing differently this time?"
I think we'll start with the, what would you call it? It was a chapel room, and
Where the ghost girl was.
perhaps we'll spend a little more time with her rather than moving on into the depths.
Yeah, she seems like the one who can maybe tell us where we need to go. I don't like trusting of something I can't see, but maybe our best bet.
It's at least a start.
Yeah. That's what we got.
I think so. In the morning, it'll be too late now.
Oh yeah.
Priscilla won't want to go in, despite that it's just as dark in there.
And who knows? It sounds like she might be bringing back a friend.
That's. Go ahead.
Go. Nope.
I was going to say that's not very reassuring.
Well, we'll see what happens.
And I think both Sten and Osric, you notice as Thundercloud starts kind of making some noises, and I think you've learned that this is him picking up Silva's scent, and it's a nice little prequel or a warning, prescience of Silva and Vasilla coming around kind of a piece of ruined wall. A little bit wet.
Is this guy in actual danger, or does he just owe you some money?
He is not someone I would trust with our backs turned.
Hmm.
He senses that he can get the better of us, he will. Again, his current state is obviously between the four of us, between even one of us, we would probably be able to handle him, but I wouldn't want to give him that opportunity. He is not trustworthy, and especially cornered and powerless as he is in this situation, I feel best to keep him that way.
Do you think he actually took something from the orcs?
Absolutely, I do.
Do you think he
Without
kept it?
question. Probably. He probably squirreled something away. He was always very, very good at that.
Hmm. No one should rot in a cage like that.
Still want my 10 silver back.
So is once you get close enough and sort of approaching the fire. So, well, I see we don't have any new company.
No, it's a thief, and
No,
locked in a
right.
cage by orcs who apparently
Yes,
know that someone's here.
an old acquaintance of mine from Embers Peak.
All right. Well,
Notably not a
That-
friend.
yeah. Sounds like he's in the right place. The orcs have me a little concerned. Did you run into them?
No, I'm not really convinced that they're coming back for him.
I imagine they've moved on.
But he said he took something from them valuable, as trustworthy as he is,
Mm.
and hid it, and maybe they're trying to wear him down. But wouldn't they have noticed your donkey?
I would assume so. I mean, maybe they came through. Maybe happened chance in the past couple days we left and came back. We might have missed them, but
And he's like 200 yards south of you guys, so it's conceivable, depending on what their travels were, if there are in fact orcs involved here, that they could have easily not even paid any attention to Thundercloud being tied up, or not even being aware he's up there.
They I imagine they're not gonna. He'll tell them about us, right? Of course he will. He'll say
Of
anything
course he
to
will.
anyone to get out
Sure,
of
but
there.
does he know where we are?
Near.
vaguely. He always had a good sense of direction. He could always come back like a bad copper.
Well, we've still got a little time of light. I could see if I find any orc tracks, figure out which way they went.
Yeah.
Might not be a bad idea.
I don't like the man, but he shouldn't be there.
Well, here's the thing: if we're about to go underground, I'm leaving a mule and a wagon up here.
Oh no,
If
he's
there's a
not
known
free to
thief
go.
around. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you want to go back and leave him some food then?
Maybe.
Because that cage is about the safest place he can be
Mm.
for us
Well,
and him.
Yeah. No, I've no inclination to let him out from what you're saying about him. But are we sure he's a man and not a demon in disguise?
I feel like if he was a demon, he'd have be able to get out of that cage all on his own. But in his current state, he's clearly not so capable.
All right.
And was not nearly charming enough to convince us to do otherwise.
Well, yeah, maybe I'll go take a look, see if I can see where they went, if they have a camp, if it looks like they might be coming back.
Yeah.
But
Let's,
we got some venison here, so eat
oh,
up.
Good catch.
I'll get to work.
Alrighty.
So because of that, you're not going to need, there's enough fresh food, so you're not going to need to do a roll for food. So we'll just need go ahead.
I think we did water last time.
I think you did too. I think,
Yeah,
I think you guys are good.
I watched the recap, so yeah.
Oh, good. So give me a sense. We've got a quarter day. We've already made camp. So we've got 2 more quarter days left in today. Sounds like Sten might do a little quote unquote hunting to try to see if we can't find some orc tracks. So before we delve into that, give me an idea what Vasila, Silva, and Osric are doing.
I'm going to try to prepare the meat for tonight so it's tasty, so it is actually enjoyable and not just raw bed meat, and then I think there wasn't. I don't remember how many shares there were that you had hunted, but
I think it was a total of 5, so we had one
Mhm.
for each of us and one extra.
I'm gonna work on being a chef with my talents then because we're in third quarter, right, and then sleep
Yep.
fourth quarter. So
Yep.
I'll chef by cooking and learning. But I have to make a wits roll for that.
Yep.
Yes.
Wits. Roll. I did it.
Look
I
at
learned to cook.
you.
Once
Yeah.
again, have a chef.
That breaks a long established tradition of not getting it on your first roll. All right. I have put chef into your sheet.
Cool.
You should be all set there. Look at Silva the chef. And you spent the XP.
Yep.
So that'll be a quarter day for you. That's going to convert that. You're going to have one additional. So we're going to eat the 4. The 5th one will be converted into food. So who wants to upgrade their food die?
I'm at 12.
Gear. I have no food at all because I was
There you
unable
go.
to carry it until recently. So
You
Look at
can
that.
carry
Now you
food
can
now.
carry a
Yeah, why don't you go to-
D4.
Get yourself a
There you
D6.
go.
D6
Oh,
is
a
D6.
low.
Ooh.
Yeah, there's no
Ooh, look
D4.
at that.
Mhm.
This game even do? I don't think this game does
No,
D4s.
no 4.
It
No.
doesn't. So Silva and Osric, are one of you sleeping to then keep watch in the 4th quarter?
How you doing, Osric?
Well, I was thinking about learning ambidextrous rank 2.
Mhm.
Okay, I can sleep now and then keep night watch.
Sold.
All right.
Cool.
So you spend the XP, Osric. Move yourself up to. So what do we get on ambidextrous rank 2?
Ambidextrous rank 2 is, if I remember correctly, whoops, that's the wrong talent. Is the same as rank 1, but you can use a normal weapon instead of only being restricted to light weapons.
Very
Nice.
Here
nice.
offhand.
Very,
You've
very
outgrown
nice.
that dagger I gave you.
Yeah.
So Sten, give me a bit of an idea. We know, obviously, Silva and Vasila say, you go here, take a right at the column, and then you'll see
Right.
him hanging on this old tree. So you know where he is. Oh, you're killing me, Dave.
Mhm.
So you have a good idea where Ambrosius is. What are you
Mhm.
doing?
So I don't particularly want to interact with Ambrosius, so I'm probably gonna try and not get too close or stay unseen when I'm around him. But I'm basically looking. I don't know if there is a road or a trail or anything down here, but if it's a group of orcs, I imagine they left some kind of mark of their passage. So I just want to get an idea, if I can find them, of which way they went. Maybe follow it for an hour or so, and then come back once I have an idea of where they went, or of course if I find them along the way.
So let's do this. Let's do a survival roll.
Okie dokie. I don't think I have anything that is just for hunting, so I don't have any other modifiers there. So cool.
Yeah.
I'll
Yeah.
take it.
Okay, 3 successes.
Mm-hmm. I'm feeling good, man. I got a bow again. I had a good hunt. I'm in the zone.
You, at one point, as you're working your way through this grasslands, you get close enough that you can see the cage
Mhm.
hanging from the tree, but there's a big difference between you seeing him and him seeing you, right? He's
Mhm.
hanging from a tree in a black
Right.
cage. You're very adeptly working your way through, at almost at this point chest height grasslands.
Mhm.
So there's no issue with him seeing you, but you do see him. It's kind of slowly, the cage is kind of rotating by sheer momentum. He appears to be sitting in the cage itself. And as you work your way through the grasslands, you find tracks. So that's your first success. And it's obvious that these are probably 4, maybe 3 days old. A little tough to tell exactly.
Okay.
For your second success, there were 6 of them.
Okay.
So you figure out that there's definitely 6 of them. for your last success towards the tail end, when you're just about to stop, just about to turn around, your last success, I'm going to have you see their campfire.
Okay. Well, 6 of them, I mean, I've never dealt with orcs before, and I don't want to sound racist, but I don't want to go visiting 6 of them by myself. I mean, Sten is an old white dude, let's be honest.
Okay, boomer.
So he'll just try and get a feel for, I mean, I imagine it looks just like a regular group of travelers, camping in the wilderness. I imagine.
So at this point, I've only got you seeing.
I can see the fire, and that's
you can see the smoke from the fire. If we want to get closer, we can, but at this point, you don't see anybody or anything.
You know what? I think I'm good. I think I'm not going to press it. I'm just kind of make a mental note on my little map of roughly where they are. I imagine we're still, in exploration purposes, in the same hex, so it's not.
Oh yeah. And the other thing I'll throw in there too is them going from the cage to wherever they went west of here.
Right.
Was not the first time they've used this path.
Okay, so it's a little worn.
So you can see that there's been some back and forth, and not like over the last week. Like there's a bit of a path that's been there. Whether it's their path or not, it's not clear. But you can tell what they've been following.
Okay. All right, but yeah, I think I'll, like I said, just make a mental note of it and then head back.
All right. So as you head back, Silva, you're kind of curled up. Where do you sleep, Silva? In the tent?
Is it still raining?
It is. It's just it's that annoying light drizzle.
Yeah, probably in the tent then. Just laid out. Just
Vasily, you by the campfire cooking, Osric? Just practicing?
Yeah, I think so. Probably at the sort of towards that mouth of the cave where it's a little bit drier.
So Sten makes himself known. He kind of gets a lot closer than without being noticed than Silva and Vasilla.
Yeah, it looks like there's about half dozen of them. Seems like they have a sort of a regular route going up this way. So now, did it look like, from what I could tell, Craig, were they? Did it look like they went like past the cage to where ours are? Well, they're going at the moment, but it looks like they come back.
Yeah. So as you kind of came upon these tracks, you can definitely see to the east that would have potentially taken them to the cage.
Okay.
And then they went to the west.
Right. But did it look like the tracks or the trail they've been following goes as far as where our camp is normally?
No, it's going kind of going like southwest. So it kind of turned away from you guys.
All right. Yeah. So I don't, as long as, we don't, as long as Thundercow doesn't wander too close to that trail, I think we'll be fine, even if they come back this way. And it looks like they're still heading south for the moment. So I think we're good to head down in the morning.
All right, so let's move to fourth quarter. So Silva, you should be refreshed. You should have your sleep. I'd like a keep watch roll from you, and then Sten, Osric, and Vasilla are going to sleep.
Indeed.
And remind me, the scepter is
I believe it's still in the cart.
Okay.
Donkey.
So we'll just have to make sure that he maintains his loss.
Poor Thundercloud. I don't like this stick.
Don't do it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do it this time.
Wasn't somebody just complaining about how much willpower they didn't have?
That was a joke.
While true, if we have to spend another day outside this cave.
Fair.
Yeah, I know if I hit that push button, I'm gonna take 2 more empathy or wits damage and be tired again.
Fair.
All right. So it's morning.
Oh my gosh. We're doing it.
Yeah, hooray.
So I'm going to try to prepare a bit of poisoned food for our man in the cage.
Poisoned?
Aw.
Poisoned. But because I'm not cold-blooded and sure as a coup de grace, I need to fail an empathy roll to be able to do so.
Wow. Wow.
I was like, oh, I thought she's gonna make a nice little breakfast for us
Well,
before we go in. No,
I'm not going to
You
tell
know,
you
don't eat
guys.
that.
Straight,
I know,
straight to the,
obviously.
"Ooh, what's this?
Yeah.
Don't eat that.
Oh my.
Oh, you said he's a danger. He's going to take our talent. If he gets out, he's either going to tell orcs that we're here, or if we let him out, then he's going to take our stuff and leave us to rot. Or we just let
Yeah.
him go rot without food and in a cage. That's not the options suck. Either my friends are in danger, or we let a man rot in a cage.
All right. Vasilla pulls the lever. Good to know.
Vasilla has gone from Kender to Dark Sun Halfling.
That's what the chef talent was for.
Yeah, there you go.
Hey, I trained in chef and not cold blood last night, so there's that.
This
Sure.
is just practice
Great.
for cold-blooded.
Ay.
I just think it's a impossible choice. It's not an impossible choice, but anyway. So I think if I read these rules correctly, coup de grace. All right, so I need to. I must spend 1 power. So I have to try to fail. So let's see if I do.
It's so much empathy too.
I do not fail. So
Aw.
I think about it, but I in fact cannot poison the guy, and will instead just give him food.
All right. So are you heading back south?
Yeah, I think because it's not far, right? It's like
Like 200 yards.
Yeah.
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 So
I'm
you
gonna go
guys are
give
just
him-
going to do that in the morning as we're packing up camp?
Yeah. I'm
I
going to
think
give him a
so.
little bit of food. We're going to remember the scepter this time.
So as you're working your way through, you can hear, oh, I got to do weather. What's the weather like today?
We're about to be underground. It's fine. Flash floods. Oh, well.
Let's see here. We have got an 8.
Still raining.
Nope. The rains have lifted.
Oh,
good,
thank
just
you.
in time.
Yeah. The rains have lifted. Vasilla, as you're kind of enjoying the warm morning, the sun's kind of starting to heat things up. There's a bit of a breeze as the whatever front was involved with bringing that rain has now obviously moved on. Still clouds up above you. You can hear birds. You can hear wildlife as you're working through. You also hear metal on metal before you can see the cage. You stop. That's an unexpected sound. It's coming from the cage. But you right now I've got you hidden kind of behind in some of the ruins before you can see it.
Yeah, I will definitely sneak instead of just boldly approaching up to some kind of oral, audible, or visual confirmation.
All right, let's do a little stealth action.
All right. And of course, a bane.
Bacon just smells too good. Everyone notices.
I feel like I have to push it, right? I know there are orcs in.
Bane on agility.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, I'm gonna push.
Hey.
Nice.
Where do you think the initial miss comes from and how do you recover?
I think that I hear the clank, and I think that my darker thoughts earlier happened. Like I'm kind of still like in my head about what I was thinking about doing, and then I think I just like slammed my foot right into like a chunk of stone and just like shit. Just get flat out lucky that like whatever clang happened at that time, some kind of other noises helped cover it up.
So as you kind of peek over a piece of ruin, you see Ambrosius is no longer alone. He's pushed himself into a corner of this cage, but really there's not much space, right? But he's pushed himself up against one side. And you can see what Sten had told you was going to be around here, which is 6 orcs. They are large, bigger than Osric, about a half head taller than Osric. First time seeing these this kin, so it's wide shoulders, very adorned. They've got furs and obvious leather armor, and very decorated. So they've got all kinds of beads and things woven into their hair, and they're adorning all kinds of jewelry in their lips, on their noses, multiple piercing in their long pointed ears, kind of a grayish green skin. 4 of them are obviously warriors of some sort. There seems to be a woman orc, 3 male orcs, one considerably bigger than all of them. And they're kind of stepped back away. Based on the adornments and the amount of flair that this guy has, there's another one that's a pretty good sized one that you would immediately identify. It must be some sort of a leader, especially considering the other 4 are kind of away. He's standing there, but the person who seems to be leading the pack is in more of a cloak with a hood on it. And he's taking kind of a curved sword, and he's kind of poking at it and spinning, clanking and spinning the cage. And he goes, "You're going to tell us how you're getting in. You're getting in and you're getting out of the rows, and you're going to explain this." I don't even know what you're talking about. I don't even think I've ever been in the rows.
I mean, I will camp out, hidden away. Watch this. So I guess question: are my friends coming? Where are you 3? When I was delivering this little parcel of a little bit of food for this guy.
I'm still at camp.
You're on mute,
You're
Brian.
muted, Brian.
I would say if you asked for company, I would certainly have come along, but I probably assumed that you would be able to handle it on your own unless you wanted that in hand.
I mean, I wouldn't have requested company,
Yeah.
but you never know with you guys.
It
Sometimes
assumed
Ed
it was
has,
going to be a quick errand, so I think we all left you to your business.
Yeah.
We'll just send her out on her own. She'll be
Yeah.
fine. She's clever.
Yeah, then I'm going to wait because I need to know if Ambrosius is going to try to sell us for some kind of freedom. So
That's a good call.
So
calmly
sitting
waiting.
and listening, huh?
Yes, sir.
So this orc in the robe is getting more and more insistent and talking to Ambrosius. "We know you have a back passage, a way that you're getting into the rows, stealing little things and leaving. You're not going to find what you're looking for, and I am willing to bet that you're working with those damn red runners, aren't you?" I hate elves. I would never work with red runners. No, just let me out. I stole like 2 silver, and I put them in a tree, and I'll take you to them. We'll call it even. You can keep my clothes. And just clang, and he goes, "Tell us about the passage."
I'm waiting. I'm going to quietly. So, question. When I've had the whistle out, the flute out before, it doesn't like once someone sees it, they will often have a strong desire for it, right? But it's not just like like Sten's over there behind me 50 yards, and I like pull it out to like just like look at it or like just change one pocket to another, and he's not
It
like,
seems to
oh
be
my
when you
god, like
play
"Rrr."
it.
I
And to be clear, as a reminder for everybody, especially those watching, some sort of bubble seems to form around Vasilla when she's playing it, and she seems to be able to penetrate solid objects, right? To not be affected by solid objects around her, but it doesn't make you invisible.
Yep.
You just,
No.
I take it back. Nobody can really see you. They just see a ball and with music playing.
A ball of smoke.
Yeah. Okay. I will not have that. I would like that available to me, but not like in my hand, if that makes sense. I want it like packed at the bottom of the pack or something, right? I want it. That's like the oh shit, I got to run away through like I don't know, a wall button. I'm just gonna wait. Like I need to, need to know what these people are about. And I don't really know what they're talking about.
So things seem to be escalating as you're watching, and finally, this cloaked orc does a pretty good gash down his leg with a sword, where it's not a scratch, it's bleeding that needs attention. And he goes, how about if I tell you where a lot of things are? I know a group of humans that and they've got a wagon full of stuff. Go on. I can tell you exactly where they are. And tell us where the passageway is. Now you tell us both. So there's a negotiation going on.
Yeah.
Somehow
all right, so,
Ambrosius thinks he has some leg up in this negotiation. The orcs obviously know he does not.
I am going to attempt to. I'm going to Vasilla this. Okay. I'm.
Oh no! Oh no!
Excellent. Perfect. Good.
I'm gonna Vasilla the shit out of this.
I'm gonna like back up away to make sure like to get out of line of sight, and then I'm gonna start with. So, liar, are you gonna tell us where you put our things that you stole? And come around the corner, confident as can be.
As you turn around the corner, you've got everybody's attention. There are 7 sets of eyeballs directly at you. And there's kind of a stunned silence, maybe for a second or so, as everybody kind of takes you in. Ambrosius goes, "She's one of them! She's one of them! But careful. They have dragon eggs."
You have what?
The bigger one, appears to be the captain, starts walking towards you and goes, "You alone, little one?"
No. Who wanders out to the dwarven mines alone?
"Where's the rest of you?"
Back that way. It's my job to talk to the prisoner.
He's really kind of checking you out.
I just give him the eyes. I'm like, did you come here by yourself, sir?
He kind of chuckles a little bit and takes his he had his scimitar out. He kind of puts it into his belt, looks over and he goes, "Oh, Clank says here that you got a whole wagon
Clank?
full of
You
treasure."
call him Clank? That's brilliant. Hey, Clank. I see you're bleeding.
"So you're not friends?"
That one's friends with no one.
"Dragon eggs?"
Yeah. He makes up tales too. You know, he told me that there was a bunch of orcs, which I suppose are you fellas. He said that you have some kind of magic stone that will, like, I don't know, steal people's souls. That he stole it. He stole your magic stone that steals people's souls.
When you say that, the hooded one that's near the cage cleanly, without hesitation, does something that he was capable of doing the whole time, and that scimitar goes right into Ambrosius's chest, and he pulls it out, and you see Ambrosius it doesn't even make us. It's so fast and so clean. He just goes behind him, and the sword goes right into under his breastplate. Pulls it out. He told you about a stone.
And now I guess he's not telling me where he put my things.
Why don't you come over here and tell us about this stone?
That's as much as I know. And I think I'll stay here, thanks. There's 6 of you and 1
He
of
makes
me.
a bit of a gesture. And now you're seeing 2 of the orcs go to your left, just casually walking. Nope, nothing to worry about. The other 2 are casually going in the other direction.
I'm going to call out and say, I guess you know where to put the arrow then.
They stop. They get a manipulation roll.
Jeez.
Ooh, very nice. 2 successes. They stop and they step back, and now there's heads turning. You've got a half a second here because you definitely made them believe that you have a sniper in place somewhere.
I said it was my job to talk to him, not that I came alone. Much like yourselves. Now, I'd much rather be your friends than Clank, who's no one's friend. But I'd prefer if you don't try to circle me.
I can't have little ones going around talking about stones in the rows.
I don't even know. Is it an emerald? He also said there's a beautiful giant diamond down in these mines. I don't think that's true either.
Have you been to the mines?
Just the front, though. It's a lot of stairs.
All right, little one. Take us back to your camp. Tell your friend, wherever he or she is, we're not a threat, but we need to have a conversation.
Deal. How about you give me 50 yards? Your long legs. I'll stay visible the whole time. You'll be able to see me right in front of you. But give me a little bit of space so that you're not, within your long arm's reach.
And the big one that you've been talking to, who appears to be a captain of some sort, goes, that's fair and surprisingly smart for a child.
So you never heard of my kind then, I hear.
Children, yes, I've seen human children before.
No. I'm what they call a halfling.
It's a good name. You're about half. Yeah, good name.
True. We should call you a doubleling.
Start walking.
I will. I'll turn around and start walking. I'm going to start singing as I'm walking, and I'm going to sing a song that is like clearly like this is like
Vasila, is that okay?
Oh,
Cog?
the orcs are right behind me.
yeah, but coded enough that it's not like the orcs are right behind me, but it is clearly like the I think it's kind of like the old I'm getting myself into trouble, and some big assholes are trying to beat my ass, and Osric is the captain of the guard that would take pity on us, because like that's not fair, and I'm just gonna
Give me a performance roll.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So Sten, Ostrich, and Silva, you're kind of packing up camp.
Mhm.
Silva, I think you might be focused on securing the wagon in a non-obvious place.
Yeah.
But it's just a bunch of milling around. Grabbing some tea here and there and just kind of getting ready, waiting for Vasila to return. And you hear her song. You hear her singing. Not that odd. Sten, you pick up on the lyrics first. And it's clear to you
Mhm.
that this is a song she's never sung before in your presence. And
Mhm.
it's obvious that she's singing a warning.
It's like, oh, she sounds like she's in a good. I think we might be expecting company. And is there any kind of like any kind of high ground in here that I could try and get up on?
You could work your way up like around the upper side of the door to the mines. if you wanted
Yeah,
to.
I think I'll do that.
Okay. Ostrich and Silva.
With the understanding that it sounds like Vasila has the situation at least mildly in some kind of control, I think Silva's gonna try to play it cool. I think she's set up kind of near her cart. She's got her giant bag, and she's just kind of sitting about, cleaning stuff up. Maybe she brought customers for me.
And Ostrich?
I think Osric is readied, but not like it doesn't have his weapons out and is sort of I want to say sitting near the fire, sort of in an open and facing where she's coming from.
So you've maintained your 50 yards, Vasila. So you are going to get to the camp before our friends. The three will see them. Sten, good tracking. There's 6 of them, sons of bitches.
Mm-hmm.
But you have an opportunity, if you want, to be able to communicate with all 3 of them without the orcs hearing.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to give them. I'm going to say stone. I'm going to say man cage dead. I'm going to say
Mhm.
Ambrosius. Think we know of a stone.
So as they approach kind of the clearing in front of the entrance to the Stone Loom mines, I'm get a stealth roll from you, Sten.
I'm not especially trying to be stealthy.
Hmm.
I'm just
Okay.
basically kind of up there, like this is a lookout position.
Got it.
And
With
again,
being you're
Yeah,
okay
and
with
again,
being
the
seen.
bow is out, but it's not, drawn or pointed at
Mhm.
anyone. I'm just holding it.
So the hooded one and the one that Vasila was talking to kind of come into this clearing. The other 4 are behind them, the woman and the other 3 orcs. The hooded one goes, "Who's leading? Who's in charge?
Well, that's me.
We
Can I
see
offer
you." Points up to you, Sten.
Wave.
Can I offer you a drink, or we have a little bit of meat from yesterday's hunt left?
Not looking to camp with you.
Yes.
Who is the leader?
Welcome, new friends.
Me. I'm the leader.
Wow.
The half one.
I'd
Yeah.
say we're all. It's more of a we're equals.
It's an
We are
autonomous
equals
collective.
in this venture. Yes. As our friend upon high says, welcome to our camp, friends. Can we offer you any food or water? I have some light wares. I've been traveling light. If there's anything you require.
He killed Clank, by the way. We're never getting back our silver.
Ah, well,
Mhm.
I guess he had at least one honest bone in his body. He told us there were folk of your kind among these parts.
So the hooded one points a finger at you, Silva, and goes, "You stay right there.
Of course.
You are elfkin,
On my mother's side.
but you don't have a stone in you."
No. Again, I am half of the human bloodline and half of the elven bloodline. I'm,
Wait.
Best of both worlds.
Your mom has a stone in her?
Oh, she's an elf.
Wait, elves have stones in them.
Yeah, all of them do.
I had a stone in me
I thought
once,
this
hurt
was-
like hell to pass it, but
Yeah, that's quite the condition I've heard.
He turns to the other one, the one that Vasila was talking to. He goes, Mortog, if she is not elfkin, it doesn't explain me sensing a stone. I thought it was the one inside of her. But if she is half elfkin, she has no stone, which means there's a stone here. Where's the other elf?
Just a couple of humans, a halfling, and a half elf. And a dead human in a cage over there. Thanks for dealing with him, by the way. He was, not my favorite customer.
So you can
Mortog, there's a
smell
stone
elves?
here.
Hold on. Did you say you could smell elves?
I can sense the stones, little one. And there's a stone close. And if it's not in her, there's either another elf somewhere and I do not see it, or you have an elven stone close.
Question. When the demon died, did it just leave like smoke or did it leave a corpse?
Gone. Dissipated.
Was it that fox thing that we killed? Did it leave a stone?
Not that I know of.
We're going to make this very simple. You tell us where the elf is, or you show us the stone.
You're making a lot of demands for guests. I don't appreciate that.
He snaps his fingers to the big one and the woman. See what's in the wagon.
Enough.
bow is
Sven,
out and drawn.
Okay.
I wouldn't.
Ooh.
you seem
Hands off the goods,
confused because I'm
friends.
short. It's a mistake.
Might be some elves down in the mines.
Mortog, the captain, stops it for a second. No need for violence.
Hey, you
Indeed.
say that.
Just want to look in the wagon to see if you have an elf there.
That's a bit uncouth now, isn't it?
Elf there.
I mean,
Now, if you wanted to purchase anything, I have many interesting items.
here's the deal. Osric's sword at your back. You get to look. No elf, we've told you the truth. But if you want to come and look at our things, bully your way into our camp, then your life is on the line. I've told the truth. You are guests.
Trying to sort through the minds of my orcs here. I think they definitely are startled in your confidence.
I'm frankly startled in her confidence.
They're doing the math. And I think the Captain Mortog is going to push back a little bit. So he go, Ogar, the half one is right. No need for violence. Listen. Just want to know if there's an elf here. Show us the elf.
I think at this point, Osric is going to stand up. And he's going to say, we've already told you. There's no elves here.
I've
So you
never
want
met
to-
an elf. You could tell me you're elves and I'd believe you.
That means you have a stone. Olgar always can tell. There is a stone close.
So what is your concern with this stone?
The stone comes back to the rose with us.
So you're
You have
collecting
no
elves.
business holding elven stones.
I carry the stone of my mother.
There. That's what I needed to hear.
And if you want it, you cannot have it. It's the one thing I will not part with. I will part with many things.
Your mother is in the wagon?
Let's get I need a
She's
-1 manipulation roll from Silver.
-1.
Let's do it.
Oof.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
You're
Oh,
Modifier, -1. Okay.
so many orcs.
I gotta push this.
Hmm.
I gotta
Hallelujah!
try. Yep.
Ugh.
Oh dear.
Who's gonna say it?
Let's go to break.
So things are escalating pretty quick. There's a pause. The captain puts his hand up to stop the two from heading towards the wagon. And I think he's identified you, Sten. He looks up at you and he goes, "Don't do this, old man."
I'm only doing what you're making me do.
"I'm not making you do anything. We're just going to look in the wagon. And
I
if
don't
there's a
think you
stone
are.
there, we are taking it."
Nope. What gives you any more right to an elf stone than a human?
Or a half elf.
She's right. If anybody has rights to those stones, it's her.
Set back orc elf relations by years.
They don't have that far to go, honestly.
I know, but we're just regressing it.
I don't know anything about orc elf relations, but it doesn't sound good.
It's never good.
All right. This is going to be a hell of a second half of this episode.
Oh.
Let's start combat.
Oh
Look at these
dear.
ugly sons of bitches.
And let's go ahead.
Plus, there's an orc.
I'll let you guys roll.
Right. That's a thing.
I don't like that the
What
special
I
ones are
do-
called Nate too. What's up with
There are
almost
no
got it.
available results which can be
We're
drawn
so
from this
close to getting
table.
out of this
Oh,
without
all right. So you guys are
combat.
using the
Damn it.
I was using the
Hold on.
deck.
Yeah.
I hit the button on the.
Yeah, I
And,
rolled the button up on my
Altric and
portrait.
Vasilla got cards. I just can't have cards.
Well, I didn't pull a card from the draw initiative.
Yeah, I rolled a
macro,
die
only
on my
because
portrait.
Craig didn't
Vasilla and
say to
Ostrich
do
roll.
so.
If you roll the die, what happens?
That's what I did.
roll
and I
the
have
die?
a 3 in the thing.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So if you go to the combat,
No, you got to
it
go.
actually rose yours. Interesting.
No.
Well, you said to
You're
roll
gonna-
a die. So.
Instead, you're going to
No.
go to the combat encounters tab.
Yep.
Next to
Okay.
your character, there should be a couple of like
those dice. Okay.
that die right there.
There we
Ah.
go. Silva does
Well, you
the
changed it
same.
and didn't tell me.
Well, I didn't know it was going to do that.
You can also do that by going on your portrait on the main screen, and there's a little die on the top right hand corner, and you can click that. That is what I
Got
did.
it.
What?
Somehow. hold
Madness.
That's crazy.
on. Who am I missing? I've got you. Oh, I'm missing the big guy.
Big guy. What?
At least he pulled good numbers.
Like the Hulk.
There he is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There we go. All right, so we've got a
Yeah, Nate, you
1
guys
from
first.
Ostrich, 3 from Vasilla, a 4 from Silva, a 5 from Sten, 7, a 2, 8. Oh, that's not what I meant to do.
There's only
Oh.
10 cards.
Now
Oh,
I
he's
need to
dead.
look
Sick.
up-
Yeah, I don't know what it's going to do. All right. Not too bad. So here's our situation. We have got one of you. Then we've got one of the regular dudes, 3 of you, and then all of them.
Okay.
And you guys
So-
can switch things up. It doesn't have to be Ostrich that goes first.
So are we saying here that they are basically drawing weapons and being aggressive?
This is happening.
Okay, cool.
Then I
Um,
okay. So I think I should go first.
and sing
Yeah,
us
hit us with that song, baby.
Works for me.
All right. So that's going to put you at, let's see, swap initiative. How do I do this? Oh, nice. Look at you, Foundry. You made swapping easier. Thank you. All right, so Vasilla first.
Yep. So I am just going to like walk like 2 steps forward at this guy and let out this monstrous war cry that, like, this dude is not ready to hear because he thinks that I'm a little child, and I am not. I'm going to dump 4 willpower into
Woo!
rank 1 Path of the War Cry and give all my comrades +1 for every willpower I spend.
That's
And how are
real
you spending?
good.
Actually, I think I like this more. I'm going to spend it on rank 2 and give them all -4 die for every willpower I spend. Because they're not monsters. They're orcs.
Correct.
Oh yeah.
They are not monsters.
Oh man.
So how many? They're minus what?
4.
-4.
They're just like taken aback. They're like, wait, what? The child is yelling at me.
How does
And
something that small make that much noise?
Man, non-monsters. Aldrich would have loved this.
All right, we are going.
And they have to be within short range of me, and I presume they all are.
Yep.
The death metal scream from Vasilla.
This is
And then I will
considered-
hold on to my fast action for necessary
Dodging.
evasions.
He needs to swap initiative.
Which means I need to look up evasion.
How to dodge?
It's been a long time since I had to dodge anything.
There it is. All right. So our hooded one hears your cry, and it causes all of them to pause. He spends 2 willpower. And you scream. He turns and opens his hand to you. And you've heard him talk a few times, but you have not heard this voice. Feed a stone. I need an insight roll from you.
Insight.
That's not a skill, is it?
Insight.
there
It is. It's in wits.
It's the wit skill.
Like that's not an attribute in this game.
We just don't deal with people very often.
Mhm. More successes do matter here.
Okay. I think I'm going to push. So, question: I have the halfling talent to dodge. Hard to catch. I shared it into the
Halflings are
table.
notoriously hard to get a grip on, and they can easily evade even the most treacherous pursuers. You can spend willpower points in
It's
combat to
specifically
avoid
physical. Never mind.
physical attacks. Yeah.
I've learned to read now. Cool. So I'm going to go ahead and push this.
Your feet suddenly feel very, very heavy. Almost like the ground has reached up through your shoes and gripped you. You know it's not really what happened, but that's what it feels like. It feels like you've been pushed into the ground. You should take a point of agility damage for me.
Okay.
And this voice, it came at you, and just the wave of it went down your spine, went into your skull, went down your spine, and you just felt your feet go and you look down and you're not deeper, but it slows you. You have your feet feel heavy.
Mhm.
All right. No. All right. So I've got the 3 of you. Who's next?
I feel like Sten makes the most sense.
Yeah, I'll take a couple shots at this
All right,
this
so Sten,
spellcaster
we're gonna
type
have
before anybody else
you
closes
swap
in.
with Osric.
Mhm.
All right. What you doing, Sten?
I am shooting Mr. Hooded Man. Now,
I didn't mention they do have shields.
okay. Even the caster.
Yep. Yeah, they're all
Okay.
equipped
It's
the same
shields
way. They've
or
got
armor?
scimitars and shields. They appear to also be wearing some sort of armor, probably leather.
Oh, okay, so they're all wearing armor. Okay. Right then. Let me just make sure. I think I'm doing all this right. got my gear bonus. I got my artifact die.
Who's our target?
The guy who was just casting spells.
The Yelly?
Geek the mage first is the classic
So
rule.
he puts his hand out and you see
Mhm.
nothing but the reaction from Vasilla.
Yeah, I don't need to see it. I have been around enough wizards to know that I don't
Oh,
want,
yeah.
want one on the opposite side.
Yep.
All right, so here we go.
Whew, what a pile of-
Wow, that many
Oh.
dice and nothing. Nothing. That is some bullshit. It's on agility. Well, I think I'm gonna have to push this because this cannot stand. All right, that's
Okay.
fractionally better.
All right.
I will spend a willpower point to ignore his armor.
Okay, good. So he will take the damage.
Uh-huh.
Where do you think the arrow hits him?
Well, I mean, I was hearing him, shouting and casting. I was going for the throat. Since I didn't hit that, it probably like grazes his shoulder or something.
Yeah, so I think it comes right into his shoulder and
Mhm.
he pulls back and he goes, "Him first!" You're
well,
not done.
No, I'm not done. So I'm gonna do that
Are you using
again.
arrows
Hopefully
roll?
better.
You're using arrows
Yes, you're
roll.
right. I will do 2 of them at the end here.
Come
Wow.
the heck on, man.
This is
And
not
did you spell the
impressive.
willpower again?
Yes.
Okay, so this is going to ignore armor again.
Mm-hmm. So that should be a total of 3 damage on him.
Yep. You take him
Um,
to his knees.
Okay.
He's now got a second arrow in him, and he's trying to pull the first one out.
All right. Our roll's made. That is it for me.
All right. So what I have left then is I've got Silva and Osric. I need to know what order.
Do you want to go ahead and go, Ostrick?
Sure.
Yeah, finish him.
Hopefully.
Gosh, I don't think that's what he's doing.
Okay.
I'm
So
here for it.
I think he's gonna draw his 2 weapons, which I think takes an action,
That'll be a fast action.
and then we'll charge the biggest guard.
Ah,
The big ugly one.
that would be Bruise the Behemoth.
Fantastic.
Bruise the behemoth.
That sounds swell.
He is definitely a large man. All right.
Mhm.
So your charge, you can do that as a slow action. It allows you to move as well as attack. Do I remember that correctly? All right. So let's bring up Bruise the Behemoth. All right.
Get him, Ostrick.
Sword fighter and melee charge, and it's axe fighter and melee charge.
Ah, yes. The heart scarer.
And we will roll dice.
There we go.
All
Better.
of that dice.
Heart scar
He's-
battle axe.
He's going to attempt to parry with his shield.
Yeah, he can do that. I will spend the willpower to ignore the armor, though.
You will. Okay. Yeah, look at you guys. Armor doesn't mean shit to you, but he's at -4 on this parry.
I think the minus is only on his attack rolls, but I might be wrong.
Let me read. Combat. I went to look at dodge. Sorry.
That's all right.
Reasonable question.
Warcry. You can
Just
enter
as
or the
their
modifies.
rolls.
Their rolls are modified by -1 for every willpower I spend.
That's huge.
Okay.
Incredible.
That's huge.
Mhm.
All right. So yeah, you come in and that first attack hits. You're ignoring armor. So walk me through this. He's trying to block with the shield. He is a head taller than you.
I think that just the force of me and the swing of the axe, and it just kind of thunks right back into him, and I knock him back, and then continues swinging it basically, as it's not just one swing. It's really like a flurry of two-handed attacks, and
And this is all as arrows are flying from the top of the
Right.
Stone Loom Mines entrance, right? And you come into him, and I want to think you're taken aback slightly by the fact that he didn't get bowled over. That you just slid him back about 1.5 feet, and that he regained his footing almost immediately. And you get a sense of just how freaking strong this thing is. This guy is. All right, so now
so-
what do you still have?
If I hit an enemy with my axe and inflict at least 1 point of damage, I
Oh, that's right. How much
automatically
damage did you do? You did 4 damage. You gash him pretty good.
I automatically inflict a critical injury / wound because I am
Oh,
axe
let's
fighter rank
go.
2.
Let's go, dude.
What talent is that? Is that ambidextrous?
Axe fighter rank
Fighter.
2.
That's he's on his second level of OCD
Battle
down the
axes.
line.
That's
That's right. I go
strong.
1, 2, 1, 2,
Alphabetical
1, 2.
skills.
So you're going to take him down.
Nice.
So the first hit knocks him back.
Yeah,
You're going to take him out. You're not going to kill him, right? Because we're going to be better about that from going forward here.
correct. But I have
You're
broken
going to take him
but-
down. Oh,
I
you
did
have
use
broken him.
But I did use the axe and not the sword. To do
So what do you think the second wave? What breaks him?
I really think that like when he slams him with the first charge, I think the orc himself is also like, wait, I moved
Yeah.
more than I should have moved. That wasn't right. And I think he just keeps swinging until and he's so taken aback that he just gets a good clean hit in.
And he keeps trying to put the shield up, and you're just relentless. You just keep pounding him, and it's going around the shield, and it's a gash into this shoulder, and you rink him right out, and you're just back at it. And it's just hit. He falls to one knee and just kind of falls backwards, and you just see this dark, almost black red blood just coming out both shoulders, where you have almost chopped his left arm off. I took the wound to break him instead of the critical injury. Are you okay with that?
I'm okay with that.
Okay. And so he's on the ground. Silva.
I think
Arrows are flying, hitting the mage that went after Vasilla. Osric, like a blink, suddenly goes across the camp and has now just beaten down the biggest orc.
I think seeing this, I think Silva's going to draw the trident she has, and just with all the unearned confidence in the world, seeing her very combat capable compatriots and the awesome war cry from Vasilla, just shouts out, "Come and take it, you ugly sons of bitches!" And so she's going to reserve her fast action for anyone who decides to come at her.
Smart. Speaking of which, the captain, I think, was kind of coordinating things, and then he became a captain for a reason. He's the one that pointed and identified Sten. Then he sees what Osric just did, and that's now his target. So his fast action is to get to you, Osric, and he's going to pop a swing at you
At -4.
at -4.
I'll attempt to use my free parry.
Okay. At -4 because they are so taken aback by the little one.
Scream, the death metal scream.
Let's see. What are those two? Those are going to both be to his strength. He's good with that. So you're going to try to do your free parry
I am.
off of your trident or your axe.
Sword. His
Or
sword.
your
I will
sword.
use my sword.
Okay,
Yeah. Don't think you can parry axes, which is why they're better offensively.
that makes sense. Yep.
I think you can parry with the axe. It's just at a -2.
Yeah, it's worse. Yeah.
But now I have to look at all of my talents because some
many talents.
some of them I can use for all parries. So I get a +1 for all parries for defender.
And a free parry.
Yeah, but I can cook you a meal, okay?
I cannot wait.
You're on mute. Brian.
Now this time I don't think I did it. Anyway, I was just saying priorities, man.
All right, there we go.
I saw the gesturing. Like I know
What is
this
up with all those dice?
He's a good parrier.
He's a good parrier.
And you parry all the. So he was going to do 2 damage. You parry with 2 successes. So he comes in immediately with a scimitar, arm up. Your back is to him as you beat the hell out of Bruise and break Bruise. You turn around just as him, shield in his left on his left arm, the scimitar is coming down.
And I think I just raised Rustbite and knock the blade to the side.
And it goes off to the side. We're gonna have a guard
Greg,
do this. Yes.
If you're gonna complain about the number of dice people roll, I'm just gonna point out that you just rolled 9 dice for this dude at -4.
Okay.
Are
you
Keep
just
singing,
saying?
Vasilla.
I don't know why. Hold on a second. Oh, that's all right. So that's the broken one. That was Bruise. All right. Next orc guard going after you. You gonna use your non-free parry?
I do not have a non-free parry, unfortunately, because I
So
had
you're
to
done.
move.
He had to pull his weapons because he
I
was
had to
not
pull my
ready
weapon
to fight.
because I was not
Yep.
ready.
Mhm.
That's right. Yep, you're right.
Yep.
I was in discussion mode.
All right. So this
my mistake.
is Morga the Pierced, and you can tell why Morga the Pierced has her name because she has several piercings on her cheek, across all of her lips, on the earrings, eyebrow, the whole thing.
I
she
do have
comes at
armor
you.
though.
All right, let's try it.
That was at -4, huh? Oof.
It was at -4.
Ridiculous.
Ugh.
All right. So you knock off the captains, right? It goes off, and she comes in sly off to your left with a scimitar, and it comes right into your abdomen and just scrapes your abdomen for 3 damage.
3. Yikes.
She had like 9 strength. Jeez.
That hurted a
So
lot.
the next 2 are going to use both actions to start working their way up towards Sten.
Ooh.
Okay.
So that puts us at the top.
I
I don't think we want Vasilla first, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
So who's going to
I
go
think
first?
Do we need to
I
swap
go last
Osric out?
for us. We need to kill this mage before he goes,
Yes, we do.
and that seems like a strong Sten move. to
Okay, I
me.
mean, I'm happy to go.
You're the
All
guy
right,
to
so
do it.
All right, I'm
All
going
right,
to
then.
swap initiative with Vasilla.
Yeah, I'll go 5th because it doesn't really
Yeah.
matter because I'm.
Ultimately,
Yeah,
yeah.
we're only
It
going to
does
affect one of
because
them.
I want their debuff lasts until my end of my next turn.
Right,
so I
but
want everyone else to have
unless
the
you're
minus
first,
parries
yeah.
and armor
Yeah.
and blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
All right, so you've got the captain that's coming after Osric. Osric was able to fight
Mhm.
that off, but you see the blade of this woman just slice right into his abdomen.
Well, that's my target too. I've seen him go through worse. I need to take this spellcaster out.
Got it.
So the first shot at least is going to go after him. Now we're talking. And yes,
have the
I will
willpower to
skip
ignore?
yes, I do.
So his armor will be at a -4 roll, but it still is important to take him down. Just FYI.
Yeah.
Oh, you've ignored him. He's spending the
Mhm.
willpower
He's
to
currently
ignore it.
ignoring. Yes.
Right.
And
So
I
we're double
don't
dipping
think
willpower to murder him.
can I parry arrows?
No, you can
Not that I know
dodge
of.
arrows, I
All right.
think.
I think he's going to have to try to dodge.
Dodge at -4.
Yep.
And if he's trying to stay standing, he's going
Yeah,
to
it's
take
going to be at
extra
-6.
It's fine.
Good.
However, he has a 17 die dodge. So.
Yeah, they're amazingly agile as well. Oh my god.
Jesus.
Okay, good. The minus really killed that.
Man, that was a lot. Oh, it's the red dice are like negative dice.
You did 3
Yes.
damage.
I did.
Talk to me.
I mean,
Take him
I'm
out.
just yeah, no, his power is in his voice, so I'm just going to put an arrow in his throat.
Sick.
He starts to stand up,
Mm-hmm.
and he's looking at Vasilla, realizing where the arrow's coming as he turns to you
Mm-hmm.
right under his chin,
Yep.
and he falls back.
And then, like, as I took the shot, like before even waiting for it to land, I'm going to pivot and put another one in the one who just now. So the captain is still up. Yeah, he hasn't been taken out.
Yeah,
Correct.
Bruce was the one who was taken down.
Yeah.
Morga the pierced, who
Is the one who just hit
is just the one that
Osric.
hit Osric.
But I think the captain is more dangerous, so I think the second shot's going to go at him.
Got it.
Yeah. So that's that. And that's that. And that's that.
Oh,
Sure, why not?
Ben.
I'm using willpower. I might as well.
You were and you ignored it again.
Yep.
Oh my god. He is going to. I think he has to try to dodge.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be at -6. As
one
this
fall
arrow
down.
comes flying his way, and he takes 4 damage.
-4 is brutal.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So
no, that was a good spell. Or
he's
song.
his back is to you. You hit him right
Mhm.
in the back of the shoulder blade,
Mhm.
and you can physically tell his reaction that he felt that
Good.
arrow did damage, and it hit
That-
him.
That was the plan.
That was the plan. All right. So our captain is going to switch initiative with our dead guy.
I suppose.
You
Seems
sneaky
like
son
a
of a bitch.
smart thing to do. And he turns for a second and realizes that 2 of his soldiers are headed up towards you.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he's going to go after you again, Osric. You use your free parry.
I will use my free parry, yes.
Still at -4.
Yep.
It's kind of fun to watch Craig make the "Do I push it" face.
Yes.
Yeah.
We've been doing this for so long.
Yeah, he comes down and flat out misses you, Osric. So as you're coming up to parry with your sword, it doesn't there's no clank of metal. You see the scimitar hit the dirt as it goes, and I think it was thrown off by getting shot in the shoulder blade can kind of mess things up. All right, the rest is the 3 of you. So as Osric
I'm
next?
going very last so that they
Okay.
can suffer -4 for all their armor and parries and
Mhm.
whatever.
All right, so he's going to swap with Vasilla, and then Silva's going to swap with Vasilla. I'm just going to go ahead and do that right now.
Actually, I think Silva's gonna try to cut in and go before Osric.
Sure.
Oh, okay. Hold on.
I'm gonna jump in and try to lunge with the trident, just try to finish off this captain. As I'm yelling at Osric, "Go protect Sten!"
Not the worst plan in the world.
I will lunge forward and try to stab
tell
this
ya.
guy.
I don't know who made the recent upgrades to the Forbidden Lands modules, but you have made my life considerably easier. So
Awesome.
thank you, whoever you are. All right, so we are on Silva. Silva is going to take a fast action to get to the captain.
Yep.
And hit
Good
him with
thing
the
is
trident.
with the trident, I can keep them at near range instead of close or
Oh,
whatever it is.
nice.
So I
Okay,
can
so
he's going
he's
to
gonna have to take a
forward.
fast action to get to you. I like it.
Yep. Keep him at reach. So we'll go ahead and roll this this nonsense and see what Silva can do.
Oh
That's
dear.
embarrassing.
Oh dear.
Oh,
She's a traitor, not a fighter.
So I will have him using his fast. He loses his fast action because he would
Clearly
have
trying
tried
to not
to
die. Yeah.
parry with the shield.
I'm not gonna push that, by the way.
Yeah, I
That
figured
was
as much.
I think
obvious.
it's reasonable. It's reasonable.
All right, I've got Osric. Osric, you have been now cut by Morga the Pierced. She's kind of low on you and has kind of sliced in. So she's actually almost at your height now. And you've got the captain behind you who just missed with the it hits the dirt. She's there. She's just extended herself and has sliced you.
uh-huh. Okay. Well, now I'm mad about it. So firstly, with rank 2 of sword fighter, you can slash 2 enemies with your sword with a single action.
Oh.
Nice.
Uh-oh.
Roll separately for your 2 attacks.
And this is with Rustbite.
Yes, it is.
You do not get a demon.
They're not demon orcs? Oh, I'm so sad that they're not demon orcs.
They're not dorks.
Questionable.
So attack number 1 will be Bard of the Pierced.
At Morga.
Morga the Pierced.
Yep. Oh my god.
Oh,
Come on.
Are you ignoring anything?
Yes, I will ignore armor. If I can click that.
let her
button.
dodge.
All right. She has to dodge. Still at a -4. Now it's at a -6. All right. That's
Oops.
4 damage to poor Morga.
Poor Morga, yes.
Poor
Tiny little
Morga.
violin.
You take her not out, but you take her down. She ends up on the ground as you slice her with a Rustbite.
Cool.
So the second attack, what is the skill that allows you to slash 2?
Sword fighter rank 2.
What have I allowed to happen?
What a
Rank
what a
2 is strong, as
badass.
we just found out.
What a badass.
Into the captain. Yikes.
Well,
And do you have willpower to spend?
Yes, I do have willpower. to
So
spend.
you're ignoring armor here
I will
too?
ignore his armor as well.
Oh my god.
All right, he's got to try to dodge at a
No,
-6.
he tried
No,
to
he
parry
can't-
me.
Oh, that's right. That's right. He's
Let's
just
just
going to
say if
straight
he
up
had a parry,
take it.
he could parry me because I'm not throwing arrows. I'm throwing
No.
swords.
So that's going to be 4 more damage to him. All right, hold on.
I was just trying to distract him is all.
So you
You're gonna-
learned.
it appears
before
to
you
have
had trouble
worked.
with it,
You're going to break him.
Yes.
So walk me through it. You cut her.
Yeah, I think like the that's a significant stabbing. Is 3 health of 5, and I think he is pretty angry that he left himself open there. You know, he's been doing a lot of sword movement training in all of his idle moments, and he's really angry about it. And so I think he just growled and just slashed at her until she fell over, and then swung back across at him. And as a bonus, I get to take a point of empathy damage because I
Rip.
broke somebody with Rustbite.
I mean, I think worth it.
Yeah.
It seems fine right now. Let's find the next one, but we'll figure
Only
it out
half
when
your
we get
empathy.
there.
Yeah. Well, hint, we're not going into the mines today.
No. Taking
Priscilla.
another nap.
All right. Are they? So I know they're trained warriors, but are they? So far, they've been screamed at by what looks like a 10-year-old to them, and then their 3 biggest people murdered.
2 of them.
2. Well, they took out the
Mhm.
mage, the giant person, and the captain, right?
Right.
So
Yeah. So 3 of them. You're right. Yep.
3, right? Are they looking at all like despondent?
Shaken.
Or are they just in
Um,
the throes of like bloody melee?
I think at this point, with everything happening all at once, you know what? Give me an insight roll for free. Because in real time, like 4 seconds, 5 seconds have
Mhm.
passed, right?
Yeah. But I'm good at folks, so
Yeah, you see a hesitation on the one that's still at the campground, and you see a hesitation from the 2 that are halfway up the mountain.
okay.
So you get a sense of they see what has just happened.
Okay. I'm gonna say you aren't demons. You aren't our enemies. Put down your swords and you'll live. the same gusto that I have tried to do this whole encounter with.
Yeah.
I'm a medic and will tend to your fallen.
The one that's still at the campsite, Vasilla, is covered on his arms, on his face, in scars. And with your time you have spent with the healing and everything like that, you can tell that this is a lifetime of scars because some are older than others, right? He stands and looks at you. He's about 20 feet from you and throws down his sword.
I look up at the ones climbing.
They've stopped.
I'm going to tend to the fallen so they live. And I will go to start doing whichever the one I quickly triage is the most desperately in need of aid.
I think that's probably going to be our sorcerer.
Okay, I go to the sorcerer.
All right, let's do a healing roll there. Jeez.
Oh. Need some more arrows, Sten?
I will shortly. I mean, I got good use out of these. Don't get me wrong.
That's true.
I don't remember the healing rolls. I have to look them up. But it does one's enough to keep them alive, right?
Yep.
Stabilizes.
Yep.
Okay. As long as they don't fight, I will do so for the others.
As you were tending to them, the one that took it to the throat, the sorcerer that took it to the throat, is not able to speak. But you can see in his eyes, he's acknowledging what you're doing. And you're getting a sense of confusion and gratitude at the same time. Over by you, Osric, the captain who's on the ground, who's referred to as Mortug. Mortug is bleeding. He knows that he's not, maybe he's got an hour and a half left unless he's tended to. Vasilla is busy. He says, "Believe you. Just let us leave. We'll leave you."
Can I? Are the two that were coming up to get me? Are they like moving out of the way so I can?
They're
get
starting
down?
to work their way down the mountain.
Okay. Well, I will come down when I have a chance.
They're going to
And-
sheathe their swords, but not throw them to the ground the way that
Mhm.
the Scarred did.
Mm-hmm. And I'm going to try and make my way over to Osric.
Okay.
Like, and very quietly, so hopefully the Orcs can't hear me. They know who we are. They know where we are. They know we've got a stone.
Aye.
If they get back to their camp, we're in a shitload of trouble.
Aye. I think Osric is going to help the pierced up,
Oh, the woman. Okay.
and
she's trying to like fight you a little bit. She doesn't have the energy to be effective, but you can tell she doesn't want you to help her.
sure.
But she doesn't have enough in her to stop
Mhm.
you.
I think I'm going to take her blade away and then help her up,
Uh-huh.
and say something to the effect of, "You fought well, but you're outmatched. You're leaving."
You're lucky, she says. We'll leave you. And this is over. You won. Let us just go. As you kind of like move her over maybe to a stone near the campfire.
Mhm.
I'm going to look at the captain in between and say, we could be friends. We have the same enemies.
Who are your enemies?
The fallen, demons.
We don't have the same enemies.
Yes, you think the elves are the worst.
He's kind of like starting to move himself slowly towards the woman, towards the campfire.
I'm going to look at the sorcerer at me. I'm like, you know the demons, don't you? and see if there's
He
recognition.
nods.
And
He's
you know
not
what
able
we-
to speak.
I'll pat him. Say, remember this. We have real enemies. And I'll help him, and I'll help the rest of them as best I can, depending on timing and everything else.
So this is obviously going to take us well into the night. They, the other two have come down off the mountain. They're helping their own, and they are in a very slow, roundabout way trying to kind of round things up and figure out how they're going to be able to extricate their three broken comrades.
I'll direct them as best as possible and like help them with poultices and things. Like I'll be very, nurse in charge, or doctor in charge, but not mean, but just get shit done. Do this, do that, do the other thing.
And
As-
then, sorry, go ahead.
No, as Vasila's doing first aid, Silva's kind of quiet. She's staying by the pack, staying by the wagon, making sure, none of them get a weird idea about, how things went. But she does reach into her bag, and I'm going to spend a willpower to toss Vasila basically a bundle of bandages, which mechanically give a +1 to medicine rolls.
Very nice.
Or healing
Give me
rolls.
Just a second.
And just wordlessly, catch Vasila's attention and tosses them to her.
You have the bandages now, Vasila.
Thank you.
And I'm also going to pull out another bundle of arrows and just kind of wave Sten over and
How many
keep
you
in stock.
Never mind, I won't ask. But while we're having that exchange, I will probably sort of quietly say the same thing, which is that I feel like if these make their way back to the settlement, we're going to have a lot of trouble ahead of us.
It's gotten complicated, that is for sure.
We need friends. And they're capable.
Yeah, they're capable of killing us. We don't see them coming.
Everything is that way if you try hard enough, squint hard enough. I know the eyes are going.
They know we have a stone.
There she is.
Mm-hmm.
So they're not paying any. You guys have full privacy to have these conversations. They are still in the campsite trying to kind of peel together how the hell they're going to head back to south towards the cage.
I'm going to say to, I don't know, one of the healthy orcs, I'm going to give them directions about the kind of limb to go cut down from the tree over there to make splints and things. I'm going to put them to work so they don't have time to buy, I don't want them coming up with plans. I'm like, you do this thing. You, what's your name?
That was Zog the Painted, who is well named because of the war paints, the multicolor war paints that's all over his skin. There's that initial F you look on his face when you bark orders at him, but then the rational part of his brain does exactly what you tell him to do.
Yeah. And so that's my night, is healing, is trying to keep orcs alive, however long that takes. Now whose job is to be cold-blooded now? I'm being the healer. Suck it.
What I need to know is whether we're going to let these 6 leave.
It sure does seem that way, doesn't it?
So first let me ask the technical question. Is the bundle of arrows, does that just bring it up by a die size?
Yeah, it should be worth 1 die.
All right, cool. And then the other question is, without particular training, can I try to heal Osric at all? I mean, I don't have the healing skill. Wait a minute. I'm a human with willpower. I've had to tend wounds out in the wilderness.
A little survival action.
Yeah, let's see if I can do anything that'll,
I'm just gonna nap.
So
just
so the
rub
actual
some dirt
rules
on it.
So the
Mhm.
rules on this then, Brian, is you can't heal non-broken things. You can only sleep it off,
Oh,
unless you have
okay.
specific talents to do so.
Okay,
Yeah.
But
then never
in,
mind.
in the fiction, we can still have that happen.
Yeah,
Sure,
but
sure,
Yeah,
sure.
yeah,
But I'm
but
probably not going to spend a willpower for the
yeah,
fiction.
but mechanically you do.
That's right. I cannot be healed. I can only be
Mhm.
healed from being broken.
Right.
And I'm not there
Or
yet.
or
Knock
stop
him around a
critical
couple
injury.
times.
That's
Yeah.
right.
He puts a shiv in him so we can heal him.
Mhm.
I helped.
Toothbrush that he sharpened over the years.
Yeah. I
Ben
mean,
brushes his teeth.
he still has most of his teeth. Thank you very much.
All right, so we're going to lose this quarter day.
Yep.
Are we letting these orcs leave?
Vasila is yes. She is actively
Still is a
helping them
yes.
and
Sounds
trying
like
to make sure they're
Silva.
friends. Yeah.
I'm just going to point out that tomorrow morning they're going to be fully healed.
Right? Although one of them at least has a critical wound. Three of them have critical wounds. They're in bad shape. One guy might lose an arm.
I mean, here's Sten's vote. I'll put it that way.
Silva just doesn't have the means to do it.
Well, and just so you guys know, the situation right now is that if the four of you decide that they are not going to leave this camp alive, there's no rolling going to happen. There's no initiative that's going to happen.
Right. But I mean, Vasila stopped this whole thing. We're definitely like
Mhm.
not gonna turn around and stab him. Osric's definitely not gonna do that.
This is tactically not sound, but I think two let them goes, one not let them go, and one neutral. I think we know where that's going.
You're your own character. You can start stabbing, but
No, still that's definitely not something Silva would do. She might want to. She might not like
She
the
might
idea of
miss.
letting them go. She might be very upset about this and might be reinforcing some ancient bloodline feuds. But
Mhm.
she's not going to take any action to do anything unless everyone else starts jumping these orcs out in their sleep.
So, Vasily, you do spend some time with our orcs before you guys let them go. If you want to give me a manipulation roll, let's figure out what you learn.
mm,
In those conversations, they talk about the Eye of the Rose. It's off to the east. It is a former, essentially, palace or castle that was held by the original elves. You sort out that they don't mean the original stone elves. They just call all elves the original elves, right?
mm.
They have reclaimed it since the mist has lifted. And they believe that that is going to be the new beginnings in the center of the Orc Nation. They have no quarrel with humans or half children or whatever the hell you are. They do have big issues with elves. Second thing you learn is these Red Runners. They believe they are collecting these stones because they believe the Red Runners are going to try to reclaim the eye. And they are preparing for that. What they wanted to figure out from Mr. Clack was how he was getting in and out, because it is heavily guarded. But he was getting in and out somehow, and he did it several times. And what they were hoping is by starving him, dehydrating him, and coming back, that little PETA would give it up, and he didn't.
When we talked to him the first time, I can go back and watch the episode. I think he said he was getting in as a servant, didn't he?
I don't remember that, but
Something else.
No, there was
That
no
was
There was no indication from him, I think, of how he was getting in and out. He made the claims, I found things. He wasn't stealing
Mhm.
anything. I found
Yeah.
things.
I think what you were thinking of was the sisters who were getting into
Yes.
the
Oh,
Bruce
for
Brother
the
camp as serpents.
You're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
That's
you're
how
right.
they were getting into Hagler's house and keeping
Hagler's
tabs
house,
on
that's the one.
Hagler's house.
Yep, you're right. Okay. Well, good to know. I'm going to try to leave the impression that like we have no qualms with them. Like these are our enemies. Like leave us be. We'll leave you be. Or we could be friends because we have the same. I get that you are fighting the Red Runners, but there's a deeper, bigger issue. And the sorcerer, I acknowledge that he at least knows what demons are, so I'll try to work with the ones.
So the captain, before he leaves, gives you a squeeze on your shoulder that's not aggressive, and looks you in the eyes, and he says, I am Mortug. You have a home in the rose.
I'll return the exact same gesture with the exact same pressure as best as I can with my
You have to kind of do it on his wrist, though.
Yeah. Actually, I'm gonna like make up like a thing, like a bow, and like make a thing and say something similar, like but add in like words he doesn't know that just sound cool to me, and just like like the halflings are your friends.
All right. I'm going to take us to the second quarter day. I assume we've got some sleeping going on, or we're going to do some other things and make a night of this. What are we doing?
Well, we can't all sleep. I'll be happy to take first watch.
I will, since tending to people doesn't actually help them, I will also just kind of, I think I'm going to go get, oh my god, I'm ahead, Ambrosius out of the cage and get him in the
I'm
ground.
going with you because
Yes,
nobody's
yeah.
going out.
But I'm going to announce to the group,
Mhm.
he's a piece of dung, but we should put him in the ground.
All right. So it sounds like Sten and Vasila are going to go down and attend to the Ambrosius's body. Ostric and Silva.
I mean, we probably still need someone to keep watch, and Silva's in a bit of a mood at this point, so she'll go ahead. She'll just do that.
I'm more annoyed that I have to make camp again.
We just
broke it down.
I just broke down
I gotcha.
this camp. Oh,
No. Oh, sweet. Good enough.
good job keeping watch.
Ostric.
I think Ostric will belaboredly make camp
Okay.
by figuring out how to use the
Remake camp.
While we're going, I'll talk to Sen and say, I believe them. I think that I know that it's dangerous, but you know, warriors look. You know,
Yeah. Maybe these 6 will give us the
awesome.
benefit of the doubt. You're not having a good night.
What are we doing, Ostric?
But there's another 100 of them back at this Eye of the Rose.
I'm not making camp very well. Is what I'm doing.
Saw that, but are we pushing
no,
this?
we're not. We're gonna push that roll.
That's a little risky.
It's not that important.
Yeah.
but would you want someone to kill Osric in the same if
I
the
probably should push
was
it, but
reversed?
it doesn't seem worth it.
I don't want them to, but it would be the smart play.
Well, nothing we do is smarts, then. You know
Okay.
that
I
well
know.
enough.
I do. If
I
had
want to
more
go.
arrows- sorry,
Sten
Phil.
is just like, son of a this pole,
Mhm.
but just
Mhm.
fiercely trying to put this camp together. We've got Sten and Vasila working their way the 200-yard distance.
Mhm.
Now, Vasilla, when you first heard the metal on metal clang, it was a piece of wall that was kind of like the end of the ruins before we found our friend. And you hadn't thought about it, but it was probably the most contiguous wall, almost like this was probably the last of the ruins, right? Instead of Vasilla, as you go around a large pile of rubble, you see the wall, which Vasilla hid behind before she decided to make friends with the orcs. What you expect to see in the pretty large gap is the body of Mr. Clank. What you don't expect to see is the dwarven woman who is geared up with a large backpack, bandolero of pouches, and she has her hand on the wall, and under her hand is a sheet of paper, parchment, and she's taking what you would assume to be charcoal, and she's scratching it like a relief on that wall. We're going to go to credits. We'll be back on the other side.
Embrace the king, a band of heroes bold. Stand the hunter, Vasily fair, with tales of glory told. Osric with his mighty blade, frostbite of demonic hue, and silver half of merchant king. Their journey did ensue. Silver trades and secrets hold a smile upon her face, while Osric swings his fearsome sword in battle's fierce embrace. Through Raven's land they wander in search of ancient stones, to free the land from darkness where evil's a terror roams. With courage as their banner and hearts forever true, they seek the light within the night, their quest for me and you. Stern the hunter tracks the beast with arrows swift and sure. Vasilla sings of battles past, her voice a magic cure. In ancient halls where echoes dwell, they found a mystic sign. The stones of elves a guiding light within their hearts align. But Zaitera with eyes of fire, her wrath upon them fell. Yet undeterred they pressed ahead through fire, storm and spell.
All right. So the name of the episode is something alluding to the fact you're going back in the mines, but that didn't happen.
We're so close.
Dave, I felt like there was a lot of Vasilla in this episode, so let's start with you. Let's start with thoughts, stars, and wishes.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. It was I feel like it showed off Forbidden Lands really well. Like in the
So,
combat's deadly, right? Which I like, but like success is also like you roll a big dice pool, which you need a 6, right? So it is always kind of on a knife edge, which I like. You know, you need 1 success to get stuff done, which is cool. I think it shows off our table, which I really like. Like we took something, we tried to make it go away. It didn't go the way we wanted. Thanks, mate. And yeah, so I just really dug it. It was fun. It was fun to not be like trudging through a mine and get back to Forbidden Lands and like learn some more and see the stuff. It was cool. Stars were, I think, for me, I think it's got to be Nate just like pulling his own little Vasilla and like just like, I'm gonna bold face lie this right in your face. It's
Mhm.
gonna be
That was a good one.
I
awesome.
felt inspired.
If the roll had been better, that would have been amazing.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even without the
oh,
roll, it was still amazing because they're
It
all
was
like,
there's
really?
another reality where that worked, and the game
Yeah.
is entirely different.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Right. And that's the cool thing about like the dice, right? Is that use them to decide if something goes right. If I fail my sneak check, it goes worse. It goes
Mhm.
different, right? But that was a I like the chutzpah, like the bald face lie of it.
Mhm.
So that's my star. Wishes are I actually really am enjoying like the change up to being back in the world and trying to learning about it, which I'm happy to learn about. I'm excited about like I like that we let them go. Hopefully that doesn't bite us in the ass. So
It
yeah,
sounds like we
I'm excited
kind of
about
know
this.
about two stones, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
this brand of thing. So digging it.
So Elvin Totiachi says stars. There's definitely Vasilla buff and debuff.
Yup.
How about for you, Jim? Thoughts, stars, and wishes?
You know, there was that moment where I was like, oh, I can't believe we're not going to go back into these mines because he's gonna go deal with food and something's gonna happen. Oh no, I'm never gonna make it into these. We're never gonna make it in, so we're never gonna make it out. But this was a good episode. It was fun.
What made it fun?
I agree that it's interactions with people that are fun and interesting, and I think like having them be they're not monsters, so that there's that point where we can say no, they're going to give up, or and they're going to, they could, even though we raked them over the coals, they could still theoretically potentially be our allies in this scenario. So that's interesting. I think like there's like a mini star for that moment where Dave says, "No, I'm just gonna keep sitting here," and it's just and it's listening to Craig roleplay both halves of this conversation, and then
Let it cook.
you give him like a little more, and he's like, "I'm still gonna wait a little bit more. You haven't given me the answer that I'm
A little
looking
more,
for."
Craig.
Mhm.
And then you finally went, "Okay, fine. Here, I'll tell him where you are." Now you're gonna have to do something.
Mhm.
So Elric Eternal in the chat says star attempted murder Vasilla and then Vasilla the merciful.
Mhm.
2 coins, man. 2 sides of every
Right,
coin.
that's right. I think that Sten on the mountain was a very cool moment as well,
Yep.
where he tucked himself into his little sniper's nest and was ready to deal with all of
That's
these.
my
orcs.
favorite place to fight from, because people with
Far,
swords can't
far
get to me.
away.
You have a high ground, Anakin.
Sten can deal some damn hurt, man.
Mhm.
You two
When
combined
I'm
can do
stocked
some
up on
willpower.
willpower, I'm all right.
Yeah, when you get to ignore the armor and spend a little willpower and all that, it's
Yeah.
a lot of damage gets done.
How much armor would they have been rolling, Craig?
I think they only had leather, but let me just double check.
The
real
leather
quick.
and shield gives parry, not armor.
Yeah, shield gets parry, not armor.
Let's see here. Studded leather, so they would have gotten 3 armor
Yeah.
die. So
So
Probably
they had a
got 0 armor.
50-50 chance of eliminating 1 damage.
Mhm.
Yeah, they had 0 because they're at -4.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I'm pretty sure you don't have to, because it's a die that they're rolling.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
if
No.
you chat
in
people that
retrospect,
actually know the rules, you can confirm or deny. Right?
Armor is
Stuff
a
like
weird one because it's not like an action roll.
Yeah, it's
You
just a
can't push
thing
an
that-
armor
yeah.
roll. So armor might not be the one that they can do.
Yeah,
I
I'm
don't
gonna have
know.
to look.
Yeah,
Uh,
doesn't
I'm
matter.
not too worried about it.
Well, and here's the thing, just real quick though, like it feels OP, right? Because of what happened in this encounter. It felt very powerful, but there was only 1 round, and Vasilla blew her wad with as far as
Mhm.
willpower. You guys don't have the success you did and go into the 2nd or 3rd round, and they like that could have
Mhm.
gotten real ugly real fast.
Yeah, we've
And that's what-
seen how
I-
quickly
Yeah.
combats go.
You were
south.
rolling a lot of attack dice.
Yeah.
I was debating. I was like, if I take another action, I can start spending the rest of my willpower to take another swing. But I really do think if this goes another round, I don't want to have done that now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we saw a little glimpse of it when the Morga the Pierced got
Right.
right on it, like did some
Exactly,
damage
right?
to you.
Mhm.
Yeah. And that's what I meant when like the dice. I still like the Forbidden Lands dice system. Like it didn't dawdle. You know, like D&D dawdles. Like you're like, oh, we're
Mhm.
gonna grind this out for a little while longer.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like
It happens quick. It
Yeah.
happens quick, which I like. All right. So wishes, Jim.
I still want to resolve the mines, although now I'm considering, making a move so we're not here when they get back. But but I still want to get through these mines, and I think Osric still wants to get through these mines and be done
you
with
guys
it.
have no trust.
We have not run into many trustworthy people outside of town. So
Maybe the dwarf lady's nice.
or maybe
I haven't
she's
heard
a
anybody
demon.
talk about my dwarf lady.
Yeah, she's an interesting little touch point. Again, I mentioned that in the break that it seems like there's a pretty busy street running
Mhm.
along next to this mine, so I don't know if the wagon's safe there at all.
We definitely don't leave the scepter there because we're idiots again.
All
Yeah,
right.
we're gonna have to remember that.
Brilliant. Thoughts
So
first.
we've talked many times about how one of the cool things about this system is that every die roll matters.
Yes.
And one of my favorite examples of that is at the end of that, when Sten took his second round of combat and failed 2 arrow rolls, so he was running low. If he had not failed the arrow rolls, he would right now be going out by himself to take out the remaining orcs.
Very
while
interesting.
They were weak. But he can't rely on it now.
Yeah. I love that. I love that you went
Yeah,
through that
no,
process.
it's and it's just thinking the way I'm doing, and it's like I didn't set out to make Sten an old racist white guy, but the more I think about it, it's like if these people were human, he'd probably view it differently.
Mhm.
And
very interesting.
That's
Yeah.
kind of an ugly thing to realize about my character.
I'm going to reframe that a little bit because I don't think it's necessarily racist. It's xenophobic, right?
Yeah.
Which is different.
Well
It's still bad, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's believable because again,
I've never seen these things before, and the first time I
Exactly.
met them, they tried to kill me. and my
exactly,
friends.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
To be fair, I think Sten would probably try to kill them if they
I
were
was gonna
humans.
say, in fairness,
Maybe.
you shot first.
So this is interesting, real quick.
Yeah.
Coda says, wish that the group put their heads together to figure out what the orcs were sniffing out. I think you figured that out, did you not?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was the gem on the scepter.
Yeah, it's the scepter. I mean, that's my presumption. at
Yeah,
least.
my presumption.
If
was
there's
that
another
they're-
one, somebody's here is really good.
Yeah, and I think we discussed that during the break, so I can see
Yeah.
where those.
I think that there was an initial thought that it was like, well, it's coming up from the mines, and they smelled the gem in the mines, but then it was like, oh
Right.
wait, we left
we
the
have
gem
one
right there
right.
in the wagon.
Right.
That we've all sort of carried around on us and stuff. So I feel
No,
like
Coda, that discussion, you didn't miss anything, Coda. That discussion happened during the break when we were off screen. So no, it was legit, and they kind of sussed through it during the break. They made good use of the break. All right, so stars.
The other thought I want to throw in real
Please.
quick is that Elric kind of hit the nail on the head. I am fascinated that Vasilla is a woman who will happily attempt to cold-bloodedly murder a man who is starving to death, trapped
Poison.
in a cage, but will, like, if a bunch of people literally try to kill all of us, she's like, no, we'll patch you up. You'll be friends again. Come on along next time. And it's just Sten and Brian both just do not get that. So it's going to be fascinating to see what happens going forward. As far as stars, I think it has to be the moment when Vasilla first said, yeah, he said something about you guys had a magic stone and he stole it from you. And I mean, I was just kind of,
that is when this train
doing?
went a whole different track.
Yeah,
off
exactly.
the rails.
It was amazing.
I really thought that was like a big enough lie that was like he had stolen, I don't know, whatever, something dumb, and it was like,
well,
they have a stone.
It apparently struck a nerve, and then
which, by the way, was awesome.
Yeah, no, I loved it. That's why it was my favorite moment.
Yep.
Yeah, and then as far as wishes, I just want to let people leave us alone for a day or so we can heal up and go into this mine once and for all. I'm tired of it. I really am. But I'm having a good time, so that's
Good.
That's it.
Thoughts, stars, and wishes, Nate.
It's just I've been kind of reflecting on like where things would be different. It's wild, just the way things just they go the way they go. Just again like the thought of like a bunch of normal people. What would
Mhm.
this be like if Aldrich was still here?
Mhm.
That's a different scenario.
Well, I got a
what
mage too. What do you got?
what happens if Silva passes that manipulation roll?
Mhm.
That's a whole different scenario. It's just everything's kind of on that teetering balance point. We
There,
we live
like,
by the whims.
to use your language, Nate. There's a multiverse
Mhm.
where an orc picks up Vasilla by the back of her neck,
Mhm.
right? And
Yep.
with her failed stealth roll, and
Yep.
and like who knows
Right.
what happens then? It's amazing. It's amazing, and
Yeah.
it's I'm going to build off I think what you guys already said, which is make the rules matter, right?
Mhm.
Make them an event, and it's again I don't want to like I bash the shit out of D&D. I don't mean, but like you do so much rolling in D&D that it doesn't mean as much, right? But here I feel like when those dice come out, whether it be in combat or somewhere else, like it freaking matters,
I'll
and
tell
it's
you, man,
great.
big dice pools, you're like, I've got a big dice pool, but you are never confident. Like, you play,
Right.
we
Yeah.
play long enough,
Mhm.
you're like, I've got 9 dice. This will be fine. It was an old me thought. It is not the current me thought.
There's no certainty
Yeah.
in anything.
So El Viento Tachi says, wishes more of races interactions. Forbidden Lands has a more gritty and dark side of all the races, or kin as they call them in Forbidden Lands. Show that how they are moral dilemmas can have some interesting future developments in the story itself. I'll be honest with you, if you go back and look at my original flip through and talking about Forbidden Lands, it's one of the things that I loved about this game from the beginning is that all of the kin are complicated.
Mhm.
And like I loved how you could play any of the kin and make them the hero and still know that there is no good or bad guys at the same time.
Yeah.
Which I think is cool.
Kind of happy that I've got Brian then, because like I'm trying. That's my impression of the halflings, right? Halfling goblin
Mhm.
relationship is the
Mhm.
like two sides of every
They've
coin.
both got a little bit of both.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. Well,
And I think this whole scenario has given Silva some complicated thoughts about orcs that she had no experience with prior.
Mhm.
yeah.
So that'll be interesting. She's definitely developed a certain attitude.
People trying to kill you will do that. That's
Yeah,
fine.
certain first impressions. Let's see. Stars, I mean, it's always good to see the murder boys go off.
Jesus.
Oh man.
Love my murder boys. Look
When
at those
Sten
boys
missed those
go.
first 2 shots, I was like, oh, this is going to be bad.
It
We had to
was-
make compression.
How much
I
willpower were
was-
you two sitting on?
I started the fight with like 6, and I think I got one when I pushed one of the first rolls.
Right.
I'm down to 3 now because I used a
Yeah.
lot of it in that fight, but that's what it's for.
Yeah,
Oh.
that's exactly right. How about for you, Os?
I started with 7 and I'm at 3, so I spent
Nice.
4.
Nice.
That ignore armor shit's pretty legit.
Yeah, and there was just I always had this there was that back of my mind of like maybe Silva has to grab the scepter and make something happen.
Mhm.
But we got lucky, or the skills of our amazing warriors took over. So
What do you
we'll
wish
save
for?
that for a future date. I'm now really looking forward to the Eye of the Rose and seeing where that takes
Ooh.
us. That's a very interesting new page that has revealed itself in this this saga. Let's be
Very, very
uncover
cool.
the mind again.
All right, we're back, I think, again in June. So following all the socials, make sure you're listening to the Ascent of Board Games podcast. It is the first thing I listen to as soon as it's released. I'm a huge board game fiend, and Brian and his crew do an amazing job breaking things down. And your deep dive recently, I liked. Brian, I really enjoyed that. It was kind of a nice change of pace.
Yeah,
great
second half
episode.
of that is coming the first part of next month, and it's only a
Yes.
once a month podcast, so it's not going to take up too much of your time.
No, it's worth listening to. They've got some really knowledgeable but diverse voices about games, and I feel validated because they buy as many games as I tend to buy. Make me feel good. And then of course we got Steam Powered Scoundrels, where you can get a lot more Nate representing here today. fantastic if you like miniature gaming and you just want to laugh your ass off. Steam Power Scoundrels is the way to go. And again, Dave, congratulations.
Thank you.
Jim, it was nice to finally meet your wife,
Yes.
and we'll see everybody soon.
Howdy, friends. Thank you for watching. All our content is archived and organized in playlists on the Third Floor Wars YouTube channel. Check it out. And if you could like, follow, subscribe, and even set your notifications to this channel on YouTube and Twitch, we'd appreciate it, and it'll make sure that you catch all of our content. I talk with creators, designers, and experts across the gaming landscape in every episode of our podcast, Tabletop Talk. Open up your favorite podcatcher and search for Tabletop Talk from Third Floor Wars. Support your creators. They make the content you love, and it's your support that makes it happen. If you want to help us, go to Third Floor Wars on patreon.com, and you can help us for as little as $1 a month. Thanks again. We'll see you next time. Take care.